Files/chisels. Files and chisels are used to carve material out of wood, stone, or metal either by hand or by the strike of a mallet. Chisels and files are further utilized to shave off small amounts of wood material from a surface. Make sure to maintain pressure going into the material and apply consistent pressure. These tools can also be used to smooth edges by removing materials that stick out, but this is not their primary purpose. To be safe with a chisel or file, always push in a direction away from your body and hold the chisel with 2 hands. When not in use, cover the blade and treat it as if you would a knife or scissors. Never put it in your pocket.
Hand drill. The purpose of the hand drill is to drill holes into pieces of wood at varying diameters. First, clamp your piece of wood and put a second piece of wood underneath to prevent drilling into the table. Then screw the right drill bit tightly into the chuck. Make sure the wood is clamped before drilling. Tighten the drill bit completely, keep the drill at a 90-degree angle, and don't put too much pressure on the wood and drill.
Hacksaw. The hacksaw is used to cut metal, wood, plastic, and other thick materials. Pick the correct blade for the material you want to cut. Secure the blade with the teeth pointing forward. Cut using even strokes away from you, and use the entire length of the blade to cut. For safety, don't cut towards yourself and keep your hands away from the blade. Make sure the blade is secured.
Ripsaw. The purpose of the ripsaw is to cut with the grain of a piece of wood, rip apart the grain to cut through the wood. This helps you cut cross grain while still maintaining a straight cut without splintering the wood. Some ripsaws come with a cover over the blade, so make sure you remove it before cutting and put it back once done. To use this handheld saw, make long strokes, and to save energy and be more efficient, aim to use every tooth on the saw. This makes for fewer strokes and easier to do so. Sandpaper is heavy paper with abrasive material attached to its surface. The main purpose of this tool is to make smoother surfaces on materials such as wood, metal, and plastic. To use this tool, you will need to rub the rougher side repeatedly against the uneven edge until the desired state is reached. To use sandpaper properly, keep the sandpaper against wood and don't use too much force.
Screwdrivers, screws, and pilot holes. The purpose of the screws and screwdrivers is to bind 2 pieces of wood together. First, drill a hole at 90 degrees to the top of the piece of wood, smaller than the diameter of your screw, through the top piece of wood and slightly into the piece below. Then place a screw at a 90-degree angle into the hole and set the screwdriver into the notches at the head of the screw, and turn it counterclockwise until the top of the screw is flat against the piece of wood. For safety, avoid putting too much pressure on the screwdriver in case it slips. Be sure to use the right screwdriver with different types of screws. For example, the Phillips head versus the slotted head.